Now, 20,000 is the number of people expected to attend this year's Jamhuri Day celebrations at the Nyayo National Stadium. Now, tonight, it is the eve of that particular celebration, which will be presided over by President William Ruto. The theme being, moving forward to look at the strides we've made when it comes to matters technology. This is Look Up Weekend. My name is Brian Amwai, but first, the highlights tonight. Tonight on Look Up Weekend, athletics legend David Rudisha survives plane crash shortly after takeoff.
Whatever it is that they are doing as an opposition to keep their oversight role.
Ruto okays Raila's anti-government mass actions. Also tonight, will Hustler Fund make a difference to small and medium enterprises? Experts weigh in. And Kenya at 59. Kenya to mark the 59th Jamhuri Day fete on Monday. All right, now thank you so much for making time for the program tonight. Like I said, you can be part of the program by engaging us on our social media at Amwai Brian, that is on Twitter, at Lookup TV. Tell us where you're watching us from, what you think about the stories we are running today, and we'll be able to sample some of it as we continue with the program tonight. Our sign language interpreter is Felista Adundo. We are also live on Facebook and on YouTube. Now, two-time Olympic 800-meter champion David Rudisha has survived a light plane crash in Imbirikana area in Kajiado County. Now, the plane carrying Rudisha crashed yesterday evening with 6 people aboard, with no fatalities reported. Rudisha had attended the annual Maasai Olympics event at Kimana Wildlife Sanctuary in Kajiado South, which was also graced by the county governor, Joseph Ole Lenku. Now, more than half of the Hustler Fund beneficiaries are youth, according to the latest data by the Ministry of Cooperatives and MSMEs Development. Now, the data shows that 57% of the borrowers are aged between 18 to 35 years, with over 6 million shillings already disbursed. However, analysts weighing into the discussion around the Hustler Fund doubt whether the fund will serve its intended purpose. The much-awaited 50 billion Hustler Fund was launched by President William Ruto, offering hope for an affordable and quick credit to a group of low-income earners without collateral, a core campaign promise by the Kenya Kwanza government, which was their key to State House. The cheap credit targets the Juakali artisans, border operators and roadside traders, but how effective will it be? Vincent Otieno, an economist, says it might be hard for the fund to achieve its intended purpose.
So in terms of significant growth, in terms of supporting businesses, for significant growth, I don't think the Hustler Fund can be able to achieve that unless it's structured different in a manner that you can allow, it can be combined with other factors such as, for instance, access to market. Based even on our own research is that a lot of this digital credit is only going to support cash flow financing. Cash flow financing can keep a business going, but it doesn't allow the business to invest in long-term assets that can unlock value. Because ultimately, as a business, you want to acquire assets, whether it's developing a new product or buying a new machine, for you to be able to produce effectively and competitively. So if SMEs cannot be able to access that kind of money, then yes, we will be in a cycle, but the day we have systemic shock, whether it's COVID or any other thing, then the access to finance doesn't make sense.
The Hustler Fund, however, was not to be a loan. It was intended to be a grant.
Of course, the initial promise by the Kenya Kwanza government was to offer small businesses a grant, which I think, based on their own wisdom, was converted to a loan. And I think maybe the wisdom based on the explanations that we've had could be that they want to be able to sustain the Hustler Fund. in the sense that the revenue that they would be able to collect through interest and etc. would be reinvested to support administrative support of the fund. So I think so far that's the justification that we've had from the government.
The fund has 4 products: personal finance, micro loans, SME loans and startup loans. It will also have an element of saving for retirement benefits, health insurance benefits and ordinary savings, which has also elicited a debate.
A certain percentage is saved. So the challenge is, if it's being saved, what interest is the borrower, because eventually they will pay that money. What interest am I getting in terms of a return? Is it better as compared to other options that are there? So that option is not being given to the borrower. Even in terms of access, when am I going to access this money? Is it 10 years? Is it upon retirement? So there are a bit of clarity, there are a bit of grey areas that are still there, which we are hoping that as we move forward, and it's a great initiative. I think as we move forward, we need to be able to hash out some of these grey areas that are raising more questions than answers. It
will not be a walk in the park for those who abuse the fund. Anyone who abuses the facility will be jailed, as the move will cripple the fund.
So the challenge that is there is, if there is high default in terms of SMEs or entrepreneurs not being able to pay, then of course the fund cannot be able to sustain itself, and probably it would die a natural death, because of course if people are not paying and you're assuming this is free money and it's politics, then of course it will miss the mark, and it might not be able to achieve the objective that it set out to give access to finance to SMEs.
The new microloan service will join many competitors, including KCB, M-Pesa and Fuliza. Mobile money in the country has grown to a lucrative revenue stream for telcos and credit providers. Is the move, however, going to affect the private sector?
One of the effects of having the Hustler Fund is, of course, other players have to look at their pricing models to ensure that they're able to capture more customers to their platforms. So I think the biggest value proposition that currently the Hustler Fund has is it's much cheaper as compared to the rest.
So far in the Hustler Fund, the amount already disbursed is 6.7 billion. Total repayment stands at 801 million. Opted-in customers stands at 14.8 million. Savings account now stands at 339 million. Total transactions stand at 11 million. And repeat customers stands at 790,000. Now, President William Ruto has defended the proposal to have an official office of the opposition leader. Speaking at the Interdenominational Church in Nyandarua County, Ruto noted that the amendment will make the opposition more effective in keeping the government in check. Shada Kareria now reports.
President William Ruto, while in church service at Interdenominational Church in Nyandarua County, defended his proposal to have the constitution amended to create an official office for the opposition leader. President Ruto noted that the amendment will make the opposition more effective to keep the government in check.
We encourage our friends in the opposition. We have no quarrel with them doing whatever it is that they are doing as an opposition to keep their oversight role.
Ruto welcomed the opposition activity in the country, asking them to correct the government peacefully.
Wanapanga maandamano, wanajaribu kutukosoa, wanajaribu kutukumbusha, hiyo mambo yao waendelee. Na sisi tunawatakia heri na upande huo. Sisi tutafanya hii yetu na bidii. Ile tumi na wauliza Wakenya wote, kila mtu afanye na upande yake na tufanye kwa amani. Wale wanatukosoa watukosoe kwa amani. Hatuna shida, sisi hatuogopi kukumbushwa, sisi hatuogopi kuambiwa ile imeenda kombo.
His call was backed by the Kenya Kwanza leaders who warned against any handshake between Ruto and the opposition leader Raila Odinga.
Sasa anafikiria huyu Kimemia alikuwa head of civil service, anaweza enda kutupa mawe? Ama huyu sisi ndiye alikuwa waziri anaweza kutupa mawe? Huyu mzee ya maandamano waambiwe, kama anatafuta watu ya kutupa mawe ya maandamano katika hii eneo hii ya mlima, hapa hakuna hata mtu mmoja, ama iko?
I want to confirm, Your Excellency, that in the National Assembly we are in receipt of your memoranda. And having read your letter to the National Assembly, I have understood, and I'm sure it is your understanding, that the position you are seeking Parliament support for is not a position for an individual. It is not a sweet deal for anybody. It is a position that will strengthen, deepen our democracy, and create greater accountability in government.
Through a letter to the speakers of the bicameral House, President Ruto asked the two houses to push for amendment of part of the Constitution to create an office of the Leader of Opposition, the same amendment which Ruto rejected during the push for constitution amendment through the Building Bridges Initiative BBI. On the other hand, the Azimio leader, through his spokesperson Dennis Onyango, has vowed to reject the move. Shadrach Kareria, Look Up TV.
Now, preparations for the 59th edition of Jamhuri Day are complete at the Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi, with thousands of Kenyans expected to grace the celebrations, which will be led by President William Ruto. This is a story prepared by Ian Kitani.
As Kenya marks 59 years of independence, preparations are complete at the Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi, where the event is scheduled to take place. Interior Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo indicated that all is set with at least 20,000 people expected to attend the event.
We have been here the whole day since morning, trying to be able to assess the level of preparedness for tomorrow's event. And as it is, we are 100% satisfied. We are ready, and we are looking forward to having Kenyans from all walks of life attend the celebrations. Expect about 20,000 Kenyans to be seated in the stadium as part of the celebrations. On the ICT scholarship, like we mentioned here on Wednesday, there is an ongoing ICT week as part of the Jamhuri Day celebrations, which is being conducted at KICC. And as we go through the program for the week, then the details of the successful scholars will be communicated.
Omolo also assured Kenyans intending to attend the celebrations of their security, as stakeholders in the security sector have put measures in place to ensure everything runs smoothly.
Tuko na mawasiliano na officers wa serikali na tunafanya kila iwezekanavyo ili wananchi wakuwe safe. So it's not something for Kenyans to be worried about, because our security agencies are working around the clock to ensure that Kenyans are safe.
Various leaders in government and opposition are expected to grace the celebrations led by President Dr. William Ruto. With the national celebrations always pumped with songs and dance, this time round it won't be different, as various artists lined up for final preps at the venue, ready to entertain the invited guests. Here at Look Up TV, we wish all Kenyans a happy Jamhuri Day. Ian Kitani, Look Up TV.
Right, Ian Kitani says we do wish you a happy Jamhuri Day. We want to take a short break here on the program. Don't go too far. We'll be back with more in just a short while.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College is focused on being the leading technical and vocational training institute in the region. Our team possesses in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in the industry, offering thorough training in cosmetology, hairdressing, interior design, creative arts, training of trainers, nail technology, and fashion design. With branches in Nairobi, Thika, Meru, Eldoret, and now in Mombasa, our courses ensure that learners are completely equipped with knowledge, competency, and employability skills. Enroll today to be a part of a center of excellence.
So mimi nilikuwa mmoja wa timu kubwa ya Hasla na ngojea mazao yake.
Na bila shaka mpenzi mtazamaji, ni awamu nyingine tena ya bunge la mwenyeji ambapo tunasikia tu maoni ya wenyeji hasa wananchi wa kawaida. Je, maoni ni yapi?
Anakwambia wananchi ndio kila kitu. Unaona dips na system ni wananchi. Unaona vile wamenyorosha watu bwana.
Tumeng'oa nanga kwenye bunge la mwenyeji.
So ile kitu nasema tunamuomba asituachilie.
Right, now thank you so much for staying with us here on the program. Let's continue updating you, and on our sign language interpretation desk is Felista Adundo. Now, Kisii Governor Simbarati is on the receiving end after leaders drawn from the area slammed him over his recent appointments. Now, the leaders have accused the governor for sidelining other clans in the county government jobs.
Tumekuja kuwa na huu mkutano. Tungependa kumuuliza gavana wa Kisii Mheshimiwa Simbarati ambaye tulimsaidia tukakuwa pamoja, tukauliza hawa wananchi tuwe na mkutano ili asikie bila hawa wananchi wanazungumza. Hatuna ubishi naye kwa uongozi wake kwa sababu amechukua ushukani.
Hii vita tulinyamaza. Tulisema these are genuine reforms, let's allow him to do his job. Lakini yeye akaanza kuvictimize watu. Na hiyo maneno ya kuenda kwa redio kutuongelesha vibaya, pia sisi tutaingia kwa hiyo redio. Tutaenda kwa TV. Na hata chama yetu ya ODM imeona shida ambayo iko hapa.
Kiongoza vizuri, tutamsindikisha, atamaliza miaka 5 yake, na akiendelea kufanya vizuri zaidi, tutamwambia aendelee na ingine 5, amalize 10. Lakini asipobadilisha mienendo yake na nyadhifa zake na plani zake bila natuongoza, tutaanza kampeni mwaka ujao.
All right, now in our weekly segment of Your Opinion Matters, we do ask the question, how practical is the Hustler Fund offered by the government? Let's take a look at what Kenyans say.
On Hustler Fund takes center stage among the Kenyans. Today on Your Opinion Matters, we ask if there is a practicality on this Hustler Fund.
It's not practical because 500 shillings you cannot start with the 500 shillings for capital. Yeah.
So far, I don't think it's very practical since they give off or they give out to money, assuming it's just pilot stage, they will increase. So as of now, not so much because most hustlers need more than 700, 600. So until something else or a new plan is devised, I'm not so sure about it.
Okay, with me, kulingana na watu wengine kwa wana find it better, but on my side, okay, si eti ni mbaya that's why sijichukua. I know maybe inaweza fika situation fulani ufike mahali ulemewe na uko unaweza chukua, but kuna wengine wanachukua wakisema acha nichukue, itafika time nitakosa kuilipa, kama nichukue nilipe haraka then niongezewe limit.
Though me mwenyewe sija apply, but when I imagine someone ana borrow 500, what is the economic situation of that guy? It is very dire, and even I doubt, is he going to really return it? Maybe kama ana ability ya kutengeneza 500, so it will be very hard for that to return. So I'm not really sure whether it can help someone.
Sijachukua. Mbona? Hakuna reason, sijachukua tu.
I think it was given off without thinking through it, without asking people like how much or how many people are there for them to know how much to give off. But I think more talk with the hustlers themselves for them to know more. Until then, they're just guessing, I think.
Ni watu wengi wako in need. Kama unaona uko in need sana na hiyo pesa, it's better uchukue ukijua utarudisha so that limit yako iongezeke na ufanye kitu maana. Na kama unajua uko na aim hautarudisha, ni vizuri uache ili hiyo pesa mtu mwingine aweze kuipata.
Maybe if you're just taking it for normal consumption, itakuwa tu ni like hand to mouth, then it is over like that. You get it. So I don't feel it is really helping the citizens. And even from the conversation I've been having before, most youths, they're just taking it with the aim of defaulting that debt. So
at least they can increase the amount. At least 5,000, 10,000 shillings. Yeah, that will be practical.
And those are some of the opinions that Kenyans had to offer. Moses Okech, Look Up TV.
All right, now that is Moses Okech with Your Opinion Matters, where we are asking the question, is the Hustler Fund actually practical? Now, Shin Shonji on Sunday at the Kenya National Theatre, Nairobi, organized a photography exhibition of the better steps it has taken since its beginning. Now, this comes as the organization faces a hit of negative publicity of a cult movement online. Speaking with Look Up TV during the function, the organizers applauded the event, seeking to spread the gospel and create awareness of the goodness it owns and not the hate online. The event is expected to end on the 18th of December.
Prophecy and fulfillment, beginning and the end.
So we have hold about the more than 100,000 United graduation last month. Actually, that is kind of unique thing in the whole world. Yeah, we did it about 3 years ago, and then this time we do it again.
It's so that everyone can be able to come and get to experience Shinchenji.
Advertising, telling other Kenyans, whoever wants to learn the Bible, the Word of God, they can just come and learn for free. Yeah.
It's so that we can make the people aware of the stereotypes that are going against Shinchanji and to get to cut off that kind of a mentality.
What is your take on the negative publicity?
Lots of things. Honestly, every people don't want to be losing what they have before, right? Because even we are like a new denomination who dealing the word, and we are not only aiming other to only deliver the word. Sometimes it can be challenges.
Most people who are writing those things, they have not really come and experienced. And so even those who have not come, they read that and they say, oh, this is Shinchanji, I'll not come.
At the end of the day, we all need God. We all need to understand this book. What is it all about? As much as we are born and raised in Christian backgrounds, there is just a piece where we need to understand.
People are running to the conclusion without understanding it. And especially at this time, it's very crucial that people come and understand really what's going on.
Another graduation again, a bigger one, sounding again.
All right, pretty important there. Before you judge, try to understand. Before you think that you know, to speak with the people that are actually involved, you get to understand better. All right, moving on, there's really never a dull moment when it comes to matters politics, especially here in the country. Now, this week has not been any different. The national government and the opposition have found themselves at loggerheads due to the ongoing probe into the conduct of the 4 indicted IEBC commissioners. Our reporter Henry Tende looks at an eventful week of politics that has seen opposition threaten a month-long demonstration and files the following report.
They say politics is a dirty game. In Kenya, a tussle between the national government and the opposition ensures we are treated to constant weekly politics. This week, the political temperatures have centered around the appointment of a tribunal to investigate the conduct of 4 IEBC commissioners who went against the decision of the commission's chair, Wafula Chebukati, to declare William Ruto the winner of the August elections. President William Ruto's administration is not taking lightly the demonstrations.
Mimi nimemwambia Profesa Kindiki aulize hawa watu schedule ya maandamano ndio tuwapatie askari ya kuwachunga wasiharibu mali ya watu. Kama wanataka kufanya every day ama every week ama every month na kwa miaka ngapi, watu waambie wanataka kufanya hiyo maandamano.
Wakati ukifika tuhitaji maandamano, William Ruto hatutakuuliza ruhusa, tutaenda maandamano. Tumekataa kutawaliwa kimambavu, tumekataa serikali ya majambazi na tumekataa kufinywa.
The head of state and his team are concerned the demonstrations are a scheme by the opposition group to force another handshake. This assertion is not in the slightest way entertained by the government.
Unajua hawa majamaa wameona Hustler Fund ndio hiyo. Fertilizer imeanza. Mpango ya housing imeanza. Sasa wameona hii Kenya itabadilika na ile mambo wamezoea itakwama. Lakini nataka niwaambie mwaka huu, safari hii, mtajua hamjui. Si ndio? Si tuliwaambia mapema? Si tuliwaambia wakati wa uchaguzi? So, wanaweza kupanga mambo yao, lakini I want to promise them, Kenya is not going to be the same. You will not blackmail this nation. You will not threaten the people of Kenya. We are determined to move the country forward, and you will not hold us back.
Is Ruto justified to think the call for demonstrations is a scheme by Azimio to get into government? Already, Azimio has insisted their call for street demonstrations is a constitutional right to push for Ruto's administration to observe law in key decision-making. Recent history, though, shows the government has a genuine concern. Through demonstrations, Raila Odinga was able to force for a Nusu Mkate government under the late President Kibaki's regime. Raila did, in addition, force a handshake with the Jubilee administration and retired President Uhuru Kenyatta. Just what is the driving force behind this week's declaration that they will be organizing demonstrations? Are they fighting for the right of the common citizen as they claim? President Ruto has launched his flagship project, the Hustler Fund, that seeks to provide affordable loans to millions of Kenyans.
In the Hustler Fund, nobody will be excluded. There will be no exclusions. Everybody will be given a chance. And I want to ask, those of you who will be given a second chance, please do not abuse that second chance. Use it well. It will work for you. It will work for your future. It will work for your business. It will work for your family.
The Azimio team has already discredited the fund and called on their supporters not to repay the loans advanced to them.
Alafu sasa nasema naleta Hustler Fund. Hustler Fund. Hii Hustler Fund ati unapewa shilingi 500. 500 naweza kuanzisha biashara aina gani? 500 taanzisha biashara aina gani? Alafu atulipe baada ya siku 14. Hii biashara gani utafanya na hiyo? Wakitoa chukua. Lakini hapana sema asante. Maana yako ni mali yenu, sio? Mwambie tena kesho nitarudi, sio? Lakini hapana kusema asante. Hiyo ni mali ya umma ambayo jamaa wameiba. Sawa sawa.
Where is the interest of the Kenyan citizen in this constant push and pull between the government and the opposition? Henry Tende, Look Up TV.
Right, that story by Henry Tende closes our program tonight. I want to thank you so much for making time and being part of the program. And let's do this again next time. My name is Brian Amwai. Sign language interpreter tonight has been Philista Adundo. Do have yourselves a lovely night. And let's do this again next time or tomorrow morning on the Morning Direct.